Many thanks to Verve for sponsoring this video. Head to vrv.co/Arlo to get a free 30-day free trial of Verve Premium. Verve is a streaming service with all sorts of fun stuff. Crunchyroll for anime fans, shows like Harmon Quest and Live from WZRD for geekier folk, tons of adult animated comedy, just a whole bunch of stuff. And you can get every channel ad-free, early access to content, exclusive content, and offline viewing from your mobile device, all for $9.99 a month through Verve Premium. Once again, that is vrv.co/Arlo to get a 30-day free trial, or just hit the link down in the description. It's free, completely free. Can't beat that deal. Thanks again to Verve, and on with the show. Hey. Hello, my wonderful and also beautiful friends. How's your day going? Good. Mine's going pretty good too. Just so you know, little disclaimer, I'm gonna get pretty real in this video. We're getting real today. We're gonna be talking about what I would consider the darker side of the game industry. If you don't like a negative Arlo, if you think I've been doing too many negative videos recently, you don't like me to get this nitty gritty, you probably won't like this video. Might as well go watch something else. Technically, early abandonment is not good for my analytics, but I will allow it this one time. Just this once, though. Also, like, I was gonna do, like, a whole video on this, like, a whole, because, you know, I got, like, my scripted videos and my off-the-cuff videos, where I just kind of, you know, work off bullet points and I just kind of talk. I was gonna do a whole thing with the script and everything, but, I don't really want to. I kind of just want to touch on this one thing. I didn't want it to turn into, like, a big, giant, why EA is the worst company in the world kind of video, you know what I mean? So I thought I'd keep it simple, just kind of have a little chat about this, just give you my opinion. So, a while back, what's it been, a few weeks, maybe even a month by now, EA, CEO, president guy, Andrew Wilson, came out and said, hey, we don't want to support the Switch. People, they claim that people, their fans, are not playing games on the Switch. They're playing on other platforms, and it's just not something they really want to pursue. And then, curiously enough, a while later, someone else in the company came out and said, whoa, well, I mean, it's definitely a cool platform, and we're definitely looking into it. That one, the second quote kind of just sounded more like they were kind of, I don't know, sort of a PR move. They just didn't want to, like, count everyone out completely or something. I don't really know. But in their actions, though, it seems they are really dragging their feet on the Switch. And this original quote that they said, how like, oh, people don't buy it on Switch, it's absurd. It's pretty absurd. It's absurd for two reasons. One, they've only done a very small handful of games. A very small handful. From what I can tell, you got Faye, you got Unravel 2, and then a few FIFA games. You got like 18 and 19. And I think they might be about to do 20. I'm not 100% sure, but like a very small sampling of games. You really can't judge based on that very, very small sampling, especially considering the FIFA games they've done have been super lazy ports, super like stripped down of all their features. I'm not super familiar with the games, but I've read the reviews, and yeah, they just a ton of the features have just been completely tossed in the garbage, and they've just been kind of thrown out on Switch. So, like, why would you think, why do you think that's a good, why do you think you could judge how your games do on the Switch when you're given us stripped down versions, you know what I mean? And I don't know how well Unravel 2 and Faye did. Maybe they didn't sell super well. I don't really know. Maybe their expectations are just a little weird. I don't know. We'll get into that in a bit, though. The second reason why this is kind of absurd is other companies are seeing great success on the Switch. We know that the Switch is a great platform, and tons of people, indie developers, big developers, even like Bethesda, they're porting all this stuff to Switch, and they are very happy with the results. So, like, we have to wonder, what's wrong with EA? Are their expectations just too high? Are their games actually not selling? I don't really know. And, like, just, it's baffling. It's so crazy that they haven't, like, okay, sure, I understand if they don't want to, like, do a stripped-down port of Battlefront or something, or like some of their really, really big like Battlefield games or whatever. Like, at the very least, it is weird they haven't given us like Plants vs. Zombies or like Peggle. Seriously, Peggle. Why is Peggle, some form of Peggle, not on the Switch? My gosh, I know it's cliche to say a game is perfect for the Switch at this point, but come on, Peggle on the Switch, it's perfect. It's such a small, simple game, and yet not even that. They're not even willing to do that. Not even like Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, where it's like, it's a shooty game, but it's like kind of colorful and fun and kid-friendly. Like, why not? I don't really know. So, yeah, why are they not doing it? Not even like the simplest, most obvious games. And here's where the cynicism really comes in. From what I can see, it's probably because there's not enough money in those projects. They have shown over the last few years, several years, whatever, that they are not okay with small successes. They don't like a modest success. They only want to put their money into great, big, massive things that they can monetize like crazy. Your big multiplayer online shooters, your mobile games, like things that could potentially see a really, really massive return. And this is one of the things that I love about Nintendo versus a lot of other big companies is they're okay with small successes. They actually like to make games. They like to experiment. So they're okay with just like, here's a weird little title on the 3DS that no one saw coming, but they just kind of wanted to do because they're okay with a game having a small amount of money put in and returning a modest amount of money. But EA is not like that. They don't like catering to a small niche with a specific series or something. They like to take things and turn them into something really big. And it's like, oh, well, what about these indie games that they've been doing? And if you want me to get super cynical here, super duper cynical, I really believe that their indie endeavors are just so they can praise themselves. It's the way that they present them in their presentations. They're always just like, we at EA aren't just cold, hard, cynical corporate giants. We love the small guys, and they put themselves up on this pedestal and praise themselves because they have this handful of indie products. So it doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of genuine you know what I mean? And it's just such a small amount of what they do, and the rest is the big giant monetized stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a couple guys at EA and that's why they're able to do these small things. But at the same time, why aren't they putting more on the Switch? If that's true, I don't really know how their inner workings go. But it's clear that a lot of this is opportunity cost. You know what I mean? Like, they have money. They're like, I could be putting this money into something that will be a modest success, or I could be putting it into something that could potentially be a massive success. They don't like uncertainty. You know what I mean? That's why, okay, the Wii was a giant success. The Wii U, EA was there at the first presentation being like, oh, unprecedented partnership. We're putting so much stuff on the Wii U. Even then, they still didn't quite go all the way. I don't know if that's because they just don't think a lot of Nintendo fans, so they think they can kind of get everyone else is getting Mass Effect Trilogy, and the Wii U gets just Mass Effect 1. I don't know, or 3, or whatever it is. That's a little beside the point, though. The point is they were super into the Wii U, and then the exact second things started to go south for the Wii U, EA jumped ship. They did not stick around to be like, well, maybe if we support it more, that'll make it a better system and more people will buy it. And that, no. They jumped. Instantly bailed. And then after that, they hesitated super hard on the Switch. Even after the Switch started to pick up steam. Oh, I mean, we're seeing it now. They're still dragging their feet. They're still hesitating because they haven't seen insane, crazy success that they were expecting. And I know their goal is to make money. They're a company, all that, blah, blah, blah. But they take that a little too far. The whole opportunity cost, just too far. How it's not even worth giving tiny amounts of resources to smaller projects because it's not going to give them enough money in return, even though that would bolster people's just feelings about them and make people maybe make new fans. No, they don't like that small time stuff. You know what I mean? That's a long-term happiness and loyalty thing. They don't want that. They're not out to make anybody happy. They just want the money. And Jim Sterling puts it really, really well. They don't want money. They don't like money. They want all the money in the world. That's what they want. Give them some money, they're not happy. They want it all. They want everything you've got. They want the most big successes in the entire world. It's the only thing worth it for them. So they're dragging their feet on the Switch. They've done a tiny handful of games, some of which just they didn't even put any effort into. Right now, maybe the second quote was right and they are gonna look into it, but I mean, what is there to look into? The Switch is a massive success. It's doing great. All these other companies are happy with it. So it seems like they're still not quite sold on it, and maybe, I don't know how many other games they're gonna bring to it. But if they continue to drag their feet, I will say, good. That makes me very happy. The fewer EA games on the Switch, the happier I will be. Maybe that sounds too harsh, but here's the thing about EA. Again, I don't want to go into massive detail. This isn't just I hate EA, the video, but just to kind of skim over the most important details, like, they treat their employees like complete dirt. Like, they're one of those big ones that just, the crazy crunch culture where people are working 80 hours a week and like being hospitalized because they're horribly depressed and they're not getting enough sleep, and then they like fire them all at the end of the game. Like, they treat their employees like complete garbage. They have a very long history. This is interesting. I had to look into this to really, like, they have a really long history of buying a studio, forcing that studio to make games that fit the current trend and not what that studio made a name for themselves with. Just bleeding them out, sucking the life out of them, and then when they start to not do well because they're making games that they don't want to make, they kill them. They just close them forever. Like, they've done this with, like, it might even be dozens by now. They buy it, they suck them dry, they kill them. They're currently in the it seems they're currently in the process of doing that to BioWare. Hey, we make Mass Effect and KOTOR. Oh, how about instead you make a multiplayer shooter, you make Anthem, and it does horribly. And now it's like, we don't know what's going to happen to BioWare. They might shut them down and keep making them make trend games instead of what they actually want to make. Oh, it's horrible. It's awful. They just kill them left and right. Then obviously all the very, very aggressive monetization in their games, very, very purposeful psychological manipulation. They try very, very hard to prey on people's natural addictive tendencies. They try to get whales, people with very strong addictive personalities. They try to catch them. It's all that, you've heard of all that before. They lie. They just, like, we've seen them just outright lie about everything or just manipulate, and everything they say and they do is just so cynical and calculated. Like this whole thing, they go before Congress or whatever, and they're like, they're not loot boxes, they're surprise mechanics. They're just so, they're like snake oil salesmen. I don't know, like, to me at least, they feel like they are the epitome of the just hyper-capitalist, cold, unfeeling corporation. They're all about the pursuit of money. All the money in the world by any means necessary, no matter how much it damages people's lives, no matter how much it damages the game industry, no matter just how bad it is in the long run, doesn't matter. Any reckless means, as long as they get their money in the end. So, like, I'm not gonna, like, go up to you and tell you not to buy from EA and be like, you're terrible if you're supporting them as a company, but I will highly encourage that people vote with their dollar, or else nothing will ever change. And I don't buy the whole thing. Oh, you're only hurting the game developers when you don't buy the thing. I could go on a long thing about that, but it is 100% untrue. Completely untrue. Keep buying the games. That's telling them, we like this, we like what you're doing. So I highly encourage voting with your dollar. I personally am very happy that there's not a lot of games on the Switch, because I will not support EA. I will not buy anything that they make. Some of their indie things, they'll like fund it, and then like sales won't actually go to EA. They'll just go to the developer. There's like a chance I might do that if I can really like absolutely for sure know that all the money is going to go to the developer, not EA. But overall, I'm not buying their products anymore. I'm completely done. I'm not okay with what they're doing in the game industry. Oh man, even if we got Mass Effect Trilogy. Oh, that'd be so good. That'd be so good. I love Mass Effect, but nope, even then, will not do it. It'd be really hard, but I would not do it. Anyway, thank you for watching. Love you. You're so cool. You're so cool. I wish I could hang out with you. I wish I was there with you right now, just hanging out, having a good time, playing Switch, eating burgers or something, but I'm not, and it makes me a little sad, but happy that you exist at all. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'll see you later.